Thank you for joining us for the 2-Minute Drills. I'm Aram Talegian, joined by Steve Ramirez, and behind the camera, Fred J. Robledo. Guys, I looked at the Rio Honda League standings this week, as anybody else could do on a certain website, and the team at the very bottom, get this, Monrovia, 0-2. They're at the bottom with Blair, who's also 0-2. You might want to take a picture of that, because I don't think it's ever going to look like that again for the rest of this fall, at least.
Well, Monrovia, that's why you schedule Arcadia in week 3.
Yeah, okay. Well, Freddie just gave away what we're talking about here, and he's talking like this is a pretty easy assignment. Monrovia heading to Arcadia, 7 o'clock on Friday night. I should be out there. Monrovia 0-2, losses to Burbank, and a loss to Bonita last week in a game that they were kind of winning late, and it got away from them. A couple big plays by Bonita, and they were able to pull out the 10-point win. Arcadia has only had one game. Now, this one game was to what's looking like a pretty decent Bell Gardens team, believe it or not. That's 2-0 now. Arcadia lost 42-37. The rumor has it that Arcadia has really upgraded in the skill spots because they have a former Cathedral assistant coach now as an Arcadia assistant coach. And there's been a little bit of an influx of athletic talent brought into Arcadia, which is something they need really bad. So they've had a bye week now. They had that tough, high-scoring shootout loss to a decent Bell Garden team in week 0. Maybe this Arcadia team can put things back together and make this a decent night for the rivalries.
A few weeks ago I was talking to a coach who had been at Temple City and kind of knows that area really well, and some of the Arcadia coaching staff. And funny you mentioned that, because he says you guys should look into a couple of the transfers that they got, or a few of the players. He says they really have beefed it. I shouldn't say beefed up in the lines, but they've got some impact players, some guys who can make plays, and I don't know that we've looked into that well enough yet. I mean, we will
on Friday.
We will on Friday, and
we'll know. Me will.
But I had heard that he said, watch out for Arcadia. They're going to be a sleeper this year. That's better than what they've been in the past. And you look at that first game, Aram. It was a pretty close game. Like the team is 2-0. Who knows? I mean, maybe this will be a more competitive game than you would have thought when the season started.
Well, Stevie, go ahead.
Having seen Monrovia, and I know they had a better effort last week than they did the week I saw them, but I think they've come back a little bit to Arcadia, and Arcadia may, by all this talk, has come up a little bit. So in past years, it's really been just a blowout game.
Athletic mismatch.
Just a total mismatch. But I think it may be a more competitive game. But I still say Monrovia has a little bit upper hand.
And I hope it's more competitive. The years I was in Pasadena, this was one of the can't-miss games, Monrovia and Arcadia.
Yeah.
It's just, on that side of town, you just want to see you want to see a lot of these teams get competitive again. The Temple City. You want to see them get I mean, there's a few teams on that side of town.
Want to see Temple
Pasadena, I'd like to see Pasadena, get going again. It's just you have a better time on that side of the valley when you've got more teams that are competitive. We were talking about this week. Let's look for the most competitive, best game in the Star News area, and this is really what we could come up with. There are just so many mismatches because there's maybe only 3 or 4 really super strong teams, and then there's a big drop-off. Let's hope that Arcadia is not one of those drop-off teams, and they show themselves this week. But I'm still taking Monrovia.
Yeah, I mean, Arcadia thinks it has made enough improvements to be competitive in this game. And Freddie, you're right. I mean, this is a decent-sized rivalry. The students and the fans from both schools have already seen it on Twitter. They're having the same kind of buildup that you're seeing for West Covina South Hills. So we're getting that good interest going into the game. For the sake of just seeing a good game, it would be kind of interesting, if Arcadia was able to parlay that talent into a better effort against Monrovia. It's hard to pick an 0-2 team to get a big win with any kind of confidence, but that's what I'm doing for Monrovia. I think they're going to take out a lot of frustrations in this game. I think Monrovia is going to get this game somewhat easily. I'm taking the Wildcats to win one on the road and get that key first win of the season. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking Monrovia. I think of this is the opponent that I think they can handle. Burbank traditionally is a strong team.
Physical team.
Bonita, what they did the week before shows how good a team they are this year.
Yeah.
And so I think this is more of a team I think they can handle. Like I said, I think they've come back a little bit to Arcadia, and Arcadia's come up. But I still say Monrovia has too much. and I think it'll be somewhat of a close game. I don't think it'll come down to the end, but I'm picking Monrovia in this game.
Freddie?
Yeah, I've got Monrovia too. Beginning of the week I was thinking this could be a blowout. I don't think so now. I think Arcadia is going to at least make a game of it.
Make a game of it, okay. So
for your sake, I hope they make a game of it.
Yeah, well, for Monrovia's sake, I hope they get a win because the following week it's St. Francis. The following week after that it's Los Altos. They could be 1-4. They could be 0-5 going into league. Scary, scary stuff if you're Monrovia. Not what we're used to seeing. So this is a big game for both teams. Maybe Arcadia can get itself back on the map. Maybe Monrovia can flex its muscle again. Get out there on Friday night. Should be a heck of a crowd. This is a big rivalry game at Arcadia High. Wildcats and Apaches.